Holy Twin Flame reunion. Today I'm going to talk about sacred alchemical marriage of the twin flames. And I just got married. Yes, Dr. Amanda Noel, the twin flame matchmaker who spent almost 4 decades seeking out her twin flame, and on top of that, several lifetimes. I finally tie the knot. I want to share with you my experience so you can prepare for this. You can be inspired by this. I'm going to do this video and I want you to stay tuned. Take a deep breath with me. It turns out that when you pass that threshold and you're at that point of the happily ever after, you have met your twin flame, you have an amazing tribe of family and soul family, and you are at your wedding day. It turns out that it's both a higher dimensional, beautiful, joyful, heavenly thing, and a wedding can be a lot of stress. And you can get a tummy ache and need to take a little bathroom break during your wedding because your tummy's got cramps. So that's an example of what happened to a certain someone like me during my own wedding. So I had all these hopes and expectations of what the sacred alchemical ceremony would be like on my big day. And it was a little bit different than I thought. So first of all, I want to backtrack and say that's also not true, because secretly, Jack and I did our own sacred marriage ceremony. We did it about 3 to 6 months ago. Actually, we should probably look at the date. That would be our anniversary. So I highly recommend doing what we did. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you choose to get married with your family and your friends there, I don't recommend doing that as your sole marriage for the first time. I feel it was so helpful for us to have a very mellow and low-key ceremony just on our own in the moment that our souls were truly ready to marry. I feel like, in conclusion, marriage with your twin flame isn't like a moment of like your whole being is married. It's almost like you're easing into that bathtub and like, and then, you know, you might need another bath. You might need like another week. You might need more time. You might need to heal certain parts of yourself to be fully open. And what if your soul marriage is an ever unfolding thing that will always go deeper, always go wider, and always shine more light on the planet? How do you know when you're married? How do you even define marriage? So the alchemical marriage of the soul is somewhat different than putting together your bank accounts or buying a home together or having a marriage ceremony with all your friends. We decided that we wanted to listen to what was right for us, and it felt like bringing family and friends together would be a beautiful thing. However, we found out that there's a lot of stress attached to creating a wedding. Especially, we created 100 people coming to our wedding. There was a lot of miscommunications. We wanted to keep it really small, and then we decided we'd have like a really fun ecstatic dance, and we'd do an Indian food truck that would be this gorgeous, you know, fun experience. And then my family was like, no, we can't do that. Nobody wants Indian food. Who wants that? We're like, all of our friends think that's great. And so we ended up having this over budgeted catered wedding, and I was feeling like I wasn't getting what I wanted. Jack wasn't feeling like he was getting what he wanted. And my family was like, you know, we're not getting what we want. And the amount of stress leading up to the wedding was so intense that I had some nights where I barely slept 3 hours. And I was like, I'm not a bridezilla. I don't really care. I just want people to be happy. And then I was like, feeling my mom, she's like, I want you to be happy. And like all these people's energy coming to the wedding because they're going to witness our sacred union. It was kind of hilarious. So I don't blame anybody who wants to elope. I don't blame anyone who says, fuck the legal system. I'm just going to get married on my own terms with my beloved, or our own terms with each other. And I don't blame anybody if they're like, this is too much. I'm not going to do this lifetime. I'm just going to marry myself and screw the twin flame thing. And I'm laughing as I say that because it was one of the most memorable experiences of my life. And I want to say that the memories were the most beautiful. Like, our ceremony was just gorgeous. I felt beautiful. I felt loved and held and free. And I even talked about the sacred chalice during our ceremony, and Jack totally was fine with it. And we took our shoes off and we sit in the grass and we did humming and toning at 3:33. It was really, really special and awesome. And my beautiful gown was so heavy upon me that the way that it attached, it put all this weight on my waist. And after wearing it for 4 or 5 hours, I had severe stomach ache. And so I ended up missing the dance party. We met on the ecstatic dance floor. I had all these dreams of bringing my family together in this specific vision of sharing wine and dance and laughter. And girl, it did not happen. The beauty of this negative experience of missing my own dance was that I want to create another wedding 2.0. And we want to create a family reunion, a soul family re-union every year. And we want to bring together our soul family, family friends, twin flame lovers. We want to invite you, and we want to have a massive dance party, and we want everybody to marry themselves or marry their blissness, their soul purpose, or a goal, or perhaps a partner. It will be really funny, and we'll wear costumes. And so in a nutshell, I would say that your twin flame union is going to be a somewhat different energy than a family ceremony, and that's part of what twin flame energy is. It's about merging polarities. And I think we did a really good job of merging our free-spirited, wild, unbridled twin flame light and love, and creating a ceremony that represented us, as well as not making anyone super uncomfortable. I didn't use the word pussy once at my wedding, at least not to the crowd. You know, the tradition is the bride's parents pay for it, which I don't even think is a great tradition. We're so much in the marriage tradition. I had to keep my last name. I was like ready to change our last names to a secret name that I'll tell you later, because we may do that. But in the end, we couldn't change our last names because we would have to go through this other legal process. When we marry, we can only change it to either my father's last name, Jack's father's last name, or a combination. And the combinations were really weird. And we're like, we don't want a hyphen. We don't want to mix it. It wasn't anything that would sound good. And my whole mission is to rise the divine feminine. And I wanted a non-patriarchal name. I can't have that. There are all these little traditions that are set in the old marriage matrix. I felt like I did a good job of like going into that matrix, activating the matrix, and then getting the hell out and being like, I'm not going back into that matrix. I am not staying here. So in summary, as a high-heeled priestess, I highly recommend the following things. Do not wear an uncomfortable dress. If you wear high heels, do it as I did, which was as a high-heeled priestess removal ceremony. I released the HEELS and I healed myself in front of 100 people. I kicked off my heels in a ceremony. We got in the grass and I said, this is representing the pain of the feminine. This is no fun wearing this uncomfortable stuff. But I would also do a bra removal ceremony at my own wedding, because the bra that was weighing on my waist that, you know, had my dress, everything was in place. It felt like a freaking corset. In fact, my dress is so cute and it does look like a corset, and it felt like one too. So don't recommend putting looks over comfort. Maybe for, 30 minutes you can put something fun on like a costume and then just release it. But that literally ruined my bliss. And I regret that. And I regret the pain of what women have gone through for thousands of years, fitting into these tiny Barbie boxes and bride boxes. I felt like I participated in that, and it was not against my free will. I actually went with it and I chose it. And it wasn't until later that I looked back and went, oh my God, I didn't have to wear those heels. I didn't have to wear that dress. I felt externally beautiful, but who cares about that when you're buckled over in pain and you can't be at your own party? And I'm sure some women would just pretend that they were okay and dance, but that's not what ecstatic dance is about. And that's not what a twin flame union is for me. So it's about being real, stepping up and speaking out. So I wanted to share my message with you, which is that the twin flame union is a higher dimensional, sacred, holy union, beautiful. And when you experience it on this planet, here on Earth, you're going to feel the energy of reality in the matrix. And the more you go into traditional systems, the more you have a role at enlightening the systems. And the more resistance and pain there might be as you're alchemically transforming the old marriage systems, or as you're bringing your twin flame union into old conscious, the mind frames of people who have an old traditional form of consciousness, like, older members of our family. Some of them are very conservative. Some of them think we're totally woo-woo and crazy. And bringing that love and energy, they're like, oh, it's real? What? So we made it. I made it. I'm married. Jack's married. He is going to have to come on to a couple of videos soon and just share about the experience. But I wanted to give you the bride's perspective because I know some of you were waiting on 3-3 and you followed on Instagram. By the way, my Instagram is posted in the link below so we can connect there. You can see more pictures of the ceremony I'll be posting, as well as just kind of like our twin flame life as newlyweds. So thanks for being part of this incredible journey. We barely believed in all the miracles that could happen to get us there, but we kept hope afloat, and I hope you do too in your twin flame attraction journey or your twin flame healing journey. Let go of attachment, tune into love, dive into the strength of the god or goddess you are, and you'll do just fine. And you might need to take your corset off earlier in the evening. So that's my message. I love you. See you soon. Namaste. Namaste.
Twin flame